3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 1060. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So while I was being silent, I saw the number 111 on the timer, which is about trusting yourself. It can be about believing in yourself as well, believing in your strength, whether it's in the form of patience, endurance. Believe in your ability to maintain. Whatever that may mean for you in terms of strength. I am seeing the 9 of Wands, which, is really about somebody who, or a situation that is in the last stretch, where there's a need to persevere, but it's getting close to releasing some sort of heavy burden. Maybe there's something here about feeling hope for releasing that. And interestingly enough, I do view hope as strength. And maybe this is how you're feeling called to be strong right now. To have hope, to have faith, and to not give up, and to persevere with trust and faith in yourself and your efforts. Getting into interpreting the number 1060, the number 1, like we just said, is about trusting yourself, believing in yourself, really tuning in with your intuition, and as I said before, your strength. That's just confirmation of what we already said about 111. The number 0, there are 2 zeros here, and for somebody in particular, there's been a new interpretation coming through, and it's that you may be seeing repeating patterns or themes within yourself or in your life as signs, messages, spiritual communication. And if that doesn't resonate with you, the signs or the patterns and the themes that you're seeing, maybe even the signs, even if they're not patterns, they're worth paying attention to. Especially if you are feeling intuitively connected to these signs or these patterns or themes. And there are 2 zeros, and I'm really, really feeling that whatever you are picking up on intuitively, whatever guidance, trust yourself. Trust in your own intuition and ability to make your own decisions and choose your own path. I want to say trust and believe in your ability to create. Maybe you are trying to manifest something that does not yet exist. You could have an inner voice that feels very talkative and at times distracting. But I think that it's distracting you for a reason. What is your inner voice, your intuition, trying to tell you? What's it saying? How is it guiding you? There's a real feeling of mystery here. I think you sense something. How do I put this? I think you are really in tune with the spiritual nature of life. I guess that's the best way that I can explain this feeling that I am feeling right now. The number 0 can also be a reminder to know when to put yourself first and when to choose yourself, whether it's in the text of a relationship or just a situation. Really know when it's time to put your needs and your own desires first. Know when it's okay to be selfish. The last number, the number 6, as we're 6 minutes into recording this first segment, it's about a choice between self-love and self-destruction, a commitment between self-love and self-hate. And you are definitely encouraged to choose self-love or to keep choosing self-love if you've already been doing that. I'm really feeling the number 15 being connected to the devil is significant for somebody. The devil card in tarot has the number 15 on it. And so you could feel like you are in a situation where you're trapped or restricted, or there's a lot of unhelpful distractions. It could even be your own, thoughts or feelings that are trying to drag you down and distract you and tempt you into being somebody that you're not, who manifests a life that you don't deserve. You deserve a life that aligns with who you truly are. You deserve to live a life in authenticity and honesty. It's very hard, at least in my opinion, it's very hard to live a life of lies. And I'm being reminded of Judge Judy whenever she said that if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. So do with that what you will. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 6 is 7, plus 0 is still 7. And the number 7 is about... I know that 7 can actually be a name. So maybe you've heard that as a name somewhere and that is somehow significant for you. But for me, this number is about expanding your awareness and your consciousness, learning, gaining wisdom, and really finding deeper meaning. And I think you really already feel the deeper meaning. You could already be a pretty wise person, but there's always room to learn, to become smarter, more intelligent, more aware, more conscious. And I feel that this is, if you are on the path or trajectory toward awareness and consciousness, I really think that you are on, at least, if not on the right path, then on the right track. Okay, so as you can see, there are 2 decks of cards in a box on the table. The first deck of cards is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, but it is only the Major Arcana cards. I'm going to use this deck to look at the bigger picture or the more long-term themes of you, your life, your situation. And then with the deck in the middle, the Prisma Visions Tarot, these are just the minor arcana cards from tarot, and I'm going to use these to get more detail about more immediate things in relation to whatever this bigger picture, or this long-term theme is. And then I will wrap up the reading with drawing out a card from this box, which are cards that I have made myself. Switzerland could be significant for somebody. I also did see the number 111 again on the timer as I'm recording the second segment of this video right now. So I feel called to say whatever comes through in these cards for you, whatever resonates truly and doesn't just make you feel safe, trust yourself. And I say it doesn't just make you safe because, you know, readings can either be validating for our fears or our intuition. Our intuition or our ego. And I believe that when it's validating for our fears, it makes us feel safe and comforted. But when it's validating for our intuition, I believe that it makes us feel confident. Let me go ahead and draw out this major arcana now to see what major theme or long-term ideas need to come through. Alright, so I have Temperance here. And it does say words on it. It says the light with the yin and yang symbol and the dark, as well as in reverse it says self-neglect and imbalance. But this is upright, and right there it says light with the yin and yang symbol, and then it says dark on this one. And so in this cauldron, I believe her name is Sally, she is pouring both light and dark into this cauldron, mixing it together to create something, to manifest something. Wow, this reading's feeling a little bit magical, I'm not gonna lie. So it seems here that the light within yourself, as well as the darkness within yourself, combined with the light and the dark in your reality or your situation, working with those as they are, there's really something here about mixing them together or working with them together to manifest or create something. And it's like this feeling of your soul and your higher self collaborating with your shadow rather than fighting each other and being enemies. I see the light as what inspires you, what makes you hopeful, what makes you optimistic. And the dark is the frustration, the sadness, these negative, heavy feelings that can be used as fuel to create more light, to create more hope, more faith, more optimism. The Temperance card has the number 14 on it, it looks like. I believe it's number 14. Honestly, I'm not good with Roman numerals, but we're going to go with the number 14. Even if it's the number 16, we're going to go with the number 14. And 1 plus 4 is 5. And 5 is about change and transformation. How can you transform as a person to use your darkness to support your light? How can you use the darkness in a situation to create more light, more awareness, maybe more awakening? Let's use these Prisma Visions cards to get more detail. For some reason, I really keep feeling like the word tandem feels significant. I know that that is actually a language learning platform that I use to speak to people who speak the native language that I'm trying to learn. So maybe someone here does feel called to learn a new language, or there's something about a native language, whether it's your own or someone else's, it could be significant for you. It could also be, touching more on what I said about your shadow and your higher self and your soul working together and collaborating as a team rather than competing and fighting each other for power. Working in tandem together, harmonizing in some way. Okay, so the Prisma Visions Tarot card that I have is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I'm not sure what planet that is. You can look at that symbol, the first one there, if you would like to see what planet that is. That is the zodiac sign of Virgo. We have the element of Earth. The number 10 itself is confirmation of the presence of your spirit guides. It's your spirit guides really encouraging you to trust yourself. The Ten of Pentacles itself this could be about money or resources. Something that is not going to work out long term, like maybe a job or some sort of relationship that gives you more resources. It does feel like something is blocking an opportunity, whether it's the current one or one in the future, or even in the past. Something feels like it's blocking you from having more resources or money. And it could be yourself. I believe that to have more abundance in our life, especially long term, we have to we have to create that abundance within ourselves first, long term. In other words, to have long-term financial and material stability, I believe that we have to have long-term emotional stability. And what I was saying was interesting was when I was talking about the Nine of Wands, and how, getting close to releasing some sort of burden. I said getting close to releasing to some sort of burden because after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is all about releasing some sort of weight. And so I feel that whatever burden you are releasing is financial or material in some way, and it has something to do with working with the light and dark energies, and I wanted to say elements, to create the resources and the money that you need, or at least circumstances that will bring those things to you. Alright, let's finish off this reading by drawing out one card from these box of cards. Wow. Wow, oh wow. Does this other side say anything? Okay. So I said wow because on the first side, it says focus on depression. This is telling me, well, first off, the previous reading might be significant for you because I literally gave this same exact advice, to focus on depression or guidance or whatever you want to call it. And this tells me that before you face any kind of fears or expose yourself to anything that makes you feel nervous or anxious or scared or just triggers your nervous system, you got to learn how to have hope and to have faith. And that's why it's important to focus on depression before anxiety, in my opinion, because it's just gonna be really hard to face your fears if you don't have hope and faith in the better outcomes of facing your fears. Because when we face our fears, first off, my own journey of overcoming anxiety, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be as scary as you think. An interesting 9 times out of 10, 9, 10. Well, that could be a significant date for somebody. But I said 9, 10 because 9 of Wands and then 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. But yeah. When it comes to anxiety and depression, I believe focus on the depression first so you can get back your faith, your hope, your strength, and then focus on your anxiety and facing your fears, or just even building a stronger, better, healthier relationship with fear. Because sometimes having a better relationship with anxiety is not about releasing it, it's just about accepting that it's there and just allowing yourself to have courage. On the other side of this card, it says, don't let your pain close you off from opportunities. Heal and stay open. You deserve more, so stop giving yourself less. It does feel like, though, you already are not, trying to close yourself off from opportunities. I really, really think that the previous reading could be significant for somebody. Because if that previous reading does resonate for you, then this is definitely a reading here for somebody who may be feeling more stubborn because of their pain. And I think it's this stubbornness that could potentially be this blockage here that is blocking you from more opportunities to create, make money, or resources, or even just long-term stability and security. And I just saw the number 321, I think I saw it in the previous reading as well. And that number is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. You went through what you did for a reason. You carry the pain that you carry for a reason. And thinking about the number 7, who knows, maybe even the reading before the last was significant for you too, because the 7 of Wands. But speaking of the number 7, there is so much wisdom and awareness and deeper meaning in the pain that you feel. You just have to be willing to heal so you can explore it and understand it and learn how to use it, not only to your advantage, but to also contribute to a collective effort to create more stability and security and resources and connection collectively. If you feel called to make a difference in some way, be the change you wish to see, this is your confirmation here. And I saw the number 432, another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. You feel called to make a difference for a reason. You know something. You may not understand it yet, but I feel like you know something that the world needs to know. Somebody needs to hear your story.